There is a single setting buried inside your Social Security account right now that, if it's wrong, can cause your next payment to bounce back to the government instead of landing in your bank account. When that happens, your check does not just arrive late. It disappears into a return process that can take 2 to 4 weeks to resolve, and during that time, your rent is due, your prescriptions need filling, and your automatic payments start failing one by one. This is happening to thousands of seniors every month in 2026. And the fix takes about 5 minutes. Stay with me, because I'm going to show you exactly what setting to check. The 3 situations that trigger a frozen payment most often, and a brand new federal rule that changed how the entire direct deposit system works, and if you haven't updated your account since it took effect, your payment may be at risk right now. And before we go further, there's a second risk tied to this that almost nobody is talking about. Starting this year, the government is eliminating the one backup option that used to protect seniors when direct deposit failed. If you're still relying on that backup, you need to hear what's replacing it. I'll explain in a few minutes, because that change alone is what makes updating your account urgent. The setting that freezes your check. Let me tell you exactly what we're talking about, because this is simpler than most people think, and that's precisely why it catches so many people off guard. When you signed up for Social Security, you provided a bank account number and a routing number. That information was entered into the system, and every month, the Social Security Administration sends your payment electronically to that exact account. If those numbers are correct, the money arrives on your scheduled payment date without you lifting a finger. But if those numbers are wrong even slightly, or if the account they point to has been closed, challenged, or flagged, the payment bounces. It gets returned to the Treasury with what's called an R-Series return code. The most common one is an R02, meaning the account is closed. There's also R03, meaning the account number is invalid, and R17, which flags the transaction as questionable and stops it before it ever reaches your balance. When any of these fire, your money does not sit in limbo at your bank. It gets pulled back to the federal payment system, and from that point, it enters a reprocessing queue. The Social Security Administration has to confirm your identity, verify a new or corrected account, and reissue the payment. That process can take anywhere from 2 weeks to over a month, depending on how quickly you act and how backed up the system is. During that entire window, you have no payment. Your bank shows nothing pending. Your Social Security account may still show the payment as sent, and unless you call the SSA directly, you may not even understand why the money didn't arrive. So what causes this to go wrong? There are 3 situations that trigger it, and the third one is the one catching the most seniors right now in 2026. Trigger 1. You changed banks and forgot to update your information. This is the most common reason payments bounce, and it happens more often than you'd expect. You opened a new checking account, maybe to get a better rate. Maybe your old bank closed a local branch. Maybe your children helped you set up an account at a different institution. You moved your automatic bill payments over. You started using the new debit card, but you never updated your banking information with the Social Security Administration. Your next payment date arrives. The SSA sends the deposit to your old account number, and the old bank rejects it because the account no longer exists. Return code R02. Your money goes back to the Treasury. Here's why this sneaks up on people. The SSA does not verify your banking information periodically. They don't send a confirmation before each payment asking, "Is this still correct?" They use whatever you gave them, whether that was last month or 15 years ago. If you have not logged in and confirmed your direct deposit details since you first enrolled, those details may be pointing at an account that no longer functions. Now here's trigger number 2. And this one hits seniors who never changed banks at all. Trigger 2. Your bank merged, was acquired, or changed your account number. This happens silently and catches people completely off guard. Banks merge constantly. When your bank is acquired by another institution, the transition usually happens smoothly. Your balance transfers. Your card keeps working, and your account appears to function normally. But behind the scenes, your routing number may have changed. Your account number may have been reformatted. And the banking system used to receive your federal payment may now require a different set of credentials. In many cases, the new bank sets up automatic forwarding, so payments sent to the old routing number still land in the right place. But that forwarding doesn't always last. Some banks maintain it for 6 months, some for a year. And when it expires, your next Social Security deposit hits a routing number that no longer resolves, and the payment bounces. You never changed anything. You never closed an account. You didn't do anything wrong. But the payment still fails, because the numbers the SSA has on file no longer match what the banking system needs. And now here's trigger 3, the one tied to the 2026 rule change that makes all of this more urgent than it has ever been. Trigger 3. The paper check backup is gone. This is the open loop I planted at the start. And here's why it matters so much. For decades, whenever a direct deposit failed, the Social Security Administration had a fallback. They would reissue your payment as a paper check and mail it to your address on file. It took longer, but the money eventually arrived. That safety net is disappearing. Under Executive Order 14,247, signed in March of 2025, all federal benefit payments are required to be made electronically. Paper checks are being phased out. As of May 2026, fewer than 1% of Social Security beneficiaries, roughly 280,000 to 400,000 people, still receive paper checks. And the SSA has announced its goal to complete the full transition to electronic-only payments by the end of this year. Think about what that means for a bounced direct deposit. In previous years, when your electronic payment failed, the system had a backup. It mailed you a check. Going forward, that backup shrinks and eventually disappears. If your direct deposit fails and there's no paper check option, the only path to your money is fixing your banking information, waiting for the SSA to reprocess the payment electronically, and hoping the queue moves quickly. That's why updating your direct deposit information right now, today, is no longer when I get around to it task. It's urgent. Because the one thing that used to catch you when the electronic system failed is being taken away. Paper checks are also 16 times more likely to be lost, stolen, altered, or returned undeliverable compared to electronic payments. So even if you're one of the remaining seniors still receiving checks, the system you're relying on is both less safe and being actively shut down. So how do you actually check and fix this? Let me walk you through it step by step, and there's a change to how fast updates process that actually works in your favor now. ***, how to verify and update your direct deposit step by step. Asterisk. Here's the good news in the middle of all of this. Updating your information has gotten faster than it's ever been. Previously, when you changed your bank account information with the SSA, the update could take up to 30 days to process. During that window, your payment might still go to the old account. As of 2026, direct deposit changes can now be processed in as little as 1 business day. That's a massive improvement, but only if you actually make the update. Here's exactly what to do. Step 1. Log into your My Social Security account at SSA.gov. If you don't have one, create it now. It takes about 10 minutes and requires your Social Security number, a valid email address, and identity verification. This account is now the primary way the SSA communicates with you and the primary way you manage your benefits. Step 2. Once logged in, go to the My Profile section and find Direct Deposit. Look at the bank name, the routing number, and the account number currently on file. Compare it against your current checking account, the one you actually use today, the one where you want your money to land. Step 3. If anything is wrong bank, old routing number, closed account, update it immediately. Enter your current bank's routing number and your current account number. Confirm the changes and save. Step 4. After updating, monitor your next payment date. Log back in a few days before your scheduled deposit and verify that the payment status shows the correct account. If there's any discrepancy, call the SSA at 1-800-772-1213 before the payment date, not after. Step 5. If you do not have a traditional bank account and cannot get one, you have an alternative. The Direct Express prepaid debit card program is specifically designed for federal benefit recipients. Your Social Security payment is deposited directly onto the card each month, and you can use it anywhere that accepts debit. You can enroll at godirect.gov or by calling 1-800-967-6857. But there's one more layer to this that most seniors miss, and it's about what happens to your account when you're not actively using it. The dormant account trap. Here's a scenario that catches thousands of seniors. You have your Social Security deposited into one checking account, but you also have a savings account, a secondary checking account, or a certificate of deposit at another institution that you rarely touch. Under many state laws, if you haven't made a transaction, a withdrawal, or even logged into an account within 12 to 24 months, the bank can classify it as dormant. And once it's dormant, the bank can freeze it. Eventually, the funds may be escheated, transferred to your state's unclaimed property office, and you'll have to file a formal claim to get your own money back. This doesn't affect your Social Security direct deposit directly, as long as your primary account stays active. But if you ever need to switch your deposit to one of those secondary accounts in an emergency, and that account has gone dormant without your knowledge, you're switching your payment into a frozen account. The deposit bounces. The return code fires. And now you're in that 2 to 4 week reprocessing window with no payment. The fix is simple but has to be done regularly. Log into every account you own at least once every few months. Make one small transaction, even a transfer of a single dollar back and forth. That resets the activity clock and keeps the account alive. 2 bonus protections most seniors skip. Before we wrap up, 2 quick actions that prevent most direct deposit problems before they start. First, set up text or email alerts on your bank account for all deposits over $500. This way, the moment your Social Security payment lands or doesn't land, you know within minutes. You don't have to wait 3 days wondering if it arrived. If it doesn't show up on your scheduled date, you can act the same day instead of losing a week. Second, keep a written record of your bank's current routing number and account number somewhere safe at home, separate from your phone and your computer. If you ever need to update your SSDI account in a hurry, you don't want to be searching for your checkbook or calling your bank's automated line. One index card in a secure drawer can save you an hour of stress at exactly the wrong moment. Here's the bottom line. Your Social Security check is not guaranteed to arrive just because it's scheduled. It's guaranteed to arrive only if the numbers in the system match a live, active, correctly configured bank account. 1 outdated digit. 1 closed account. 1 bank merger you didn't track, and your payment vanishes into a return queue while your bills keep coming. So do this today. Log into your My Social Security account. Check your direct deposit information. Make sure the routing number and account number match the bank account you actually use. If anything is off, fix it now. It processes in 1 business day. And if you have a parent, a neighbor, or a friend over 65 who set up their direct deposit years ago and has never checked it since, send this to them. 5 minutes today can prevent 4 weeks of missing income tomorrow. The setting is small. The consequences are not.